The following needn't be scientific for it to work, it's rather made to stir the cerebral pot, as it were. I think it's fair to consider that 70 to 80% of schools, teachers, tutors and apps in languages don't really produce great language learners. I think it's a reasonable number, 60, 70, 80%, or at least a majority. Well, how do we know this? Because if they did, there'd be far more fluent speakers everywhere. And big apps like Dulingo give us a very interesting theoretical number to work with. There's millions of users, they're by far the biggest. How likely is it that this huge number has secretly been overtaken by great learners? We have all reason to believe that the good learners and the good teaching practices in languages are a minority. Just look at the top 5 pages in Google. Would you ever say that the top 5 pages give you language businesses that are great? Would you ever say that? Would you say that these businesses attract great language learners? Having been at university myself, I can tell you that even a bachelor's in language doesn't make a person a good learner, and a PhD doesn't make a person a good teacher of languages. So if we accept the idea that a majority of teachers, apps and schools and a majority of learners are uninformed about good learning practices, which is hardly surprising by the way given its complexity, how likely is it that the Anki pool is magically populated only by the best? What would make us believe that the decks in Anki are made only by great teachers and used by great learners? What would cause this mathematical oddity that the numbers of the outside world aren't mirrored by Anki? And I think the same goes for spaced repetition as a quasi-religion. When I see the fervour with which some people defend it, how do we know it isn't mostly being misunderstood by the average learner? Or is it only the exceptional ones that are using it? What's the margin of error here also? Now, of course, this little video I'm making is based on the premise that most people, the majority of people involved in language learning, aren't great at it. And frankly, we have little reason to believe that this isn't the case. And I say this without any sort of judgment or contempt. So to all the Anki users and the spaced repetitors, how do you know that this isn't the mirror image of a wider tendency? Just throwing it out there. Thanks for watching.